I grew up in Orange County, California. A lot of people live and come to Orange County, California. But what most don't know is that the speed of light was measured in Orange County, California. Okay, let me explain. Dr. Albert Michelson from the Michelson-Morley Interferometer, which was created in 1887 to look for the presence of ether. Much to the surprise of a large number of people at the time, no ether was found, nor was it when Michelson repeated the experiment in later years to a higher level of precision. Most people are unaware that between 1922 and 1931, Michelson did significant work in Southern California, trying to obtain an accurate value for the velocity of light.
Of these was the measurement of the velocity of light. The second, the measurement of the diameter of a star. And the third was a test of the Einstein theory of relativity. How much time are you going to give me?
Not only was Michelson an outstanding physicist, he was also one of the best experimenters who ever lived. It's one thing to be able to understand esoteric theory, but it's another to make theories work in the real world. Because of his ability to be this experimental genius, in 1907, he was the first American to be awarded a Nobel Prize in physics for his optical precision instruments and the spectroscopic and metrological investigations carried out with their old. So a precision measurement of the velocity of light was a perfect project for Michelson. So the next time you're driving on Michelson Drive in Newport Beach or Irvine, you can remember that. The speed of light, which is literally the c in Einstein's E equals mc squared, is 186,282 miles per second. Knowing its precise value is critical to understanding almost everything in the universe, from measuring the distance between stars to precisely locating where you are, such as with GPS. Galileo was the first to attempt to calculate the speed by shining lanterns across hilltops in 1638. So a lot of weird methods followed. So what would you use to measure this universal standard? How on earth would you do such a thing? Well, Albert A. Michelson had an idea. Born in 1852 and raised in Gold Rush, Virginia City, Nevada, he was eventually appointed to the U.S. Naval Academy and assigned to lecture on physics. In 1926, about 20 years after becoming the first American scientist to win a Nobel Prize, Michelson first tried picking up where Galileo left off. He timed arc lamp flashes between Mount Wilson Observatory in California and a mountain 22 miles away. Realizing that the air in between might have introduced errors, Michelson decided he needed an air-free environment. In 1931, he decided to construct a mile-long segment of corrugated steel pipe, all but evacuated of air, to measure the speed of a light beam. After local municipalities refused to lend him an existing pipeline, Michelson commenced building his own. Sealing the 60-foot pipe sections proved especially daunting. The final recipe for the homebrew sealant included rope, canvas, glue, friction tape, and higher inner tube. Propped on wood trestles between flimsy steel shocks, the pipe looked like a sloppy public works project. I love that he still went for it anyways. But inside, pumps could drop the pressure to half an inch of mercury, equivalent to the atmosphere at about 110,000 feet. This otherwise unassuming pipeline effectively simulated deep space smack in the middle of California farm country. And you just thought Orange County was super pretentious. On each run, a sun-bright beam from an arc lamp bouncing off a 16-sided whirling mirror completed 5 round trips. To clock elapsed time, Michelson adjusted the mirror's rotation until the returning beam met the next mirror face exactly. A fascinated public devoured regular news reports on the experiment, then flocked to see it in such numbers that Michelson implored them to stop. Albert Einstein visited in March of 1931. As work progressed, even tides and tectonic shifts became concerns. Michelson worked at night to avoid any heat expansion in the pipe's rarefied atmosphere. The pipe was located on the Irvine Ranch in Orange County, about a mile northeast of where the John Wayne Airport is today. James Irvine leased land to the scientists in a flat bean field near what is now the district shopping center. The ranch was the perfect place for Michelson's experiment since it varied only a few feet in elevation. At a cost of $50,000, the California Corrugated Culvert Company furnished the 35-inch steel pipe that extended slightly over 1 mile. The alluvial soil of the Irvine Ranch and the rapid changes in temperature during the day combined to create large fluctuations in the measurement of up to 12 miles per second. Although the experiments conducted at the Mount Wilson Observatory proved to be more accurate, the Irvine Ranch figure of 299,774 kilometers per second is frequently quoted. By April, he was directing his work from a sick bed. Elated after completing around half the trials, Michelson was beginning to draft his report when he died. The results, published posthumously in Astrophysical Journal, gave a figure of around 186,271 miles per second, just slightly lower than what we accept today. Michelson died on May 9, 1931, 2 days after the experiment was complete. The Irvine experiment was damaged in a 1933 earthquake, and the pipe was later bought and reused by the city. Pieces of this unique aerospace artifact may be draining farmlands or marshes in Southern California right now. Today, CERN's Large Hadron Collider, among other experiments, continues the quest to understand the universe by sending beams of light through a long tunnel. So the next time you come to Orange County or you drive down Michelson Drive, I want you to remember the cool things that happen here. Michelson's brilliance and determination, fortitude is to be respected and honored. And that's what I'm here to do right now.
Albert Michelson was a man of many interests. He excelled in tennis, bridge, chess, and billiards. His artistic ability extended beyond his scientific work into the fields of painting and music. This candid glimpse of him enjoying his favorite pastime of watercolor painting was taken in Pasadena about 1930. Michelson loved music and was himself a proficient amateur violinist. The music which you are hearing was composed by him for his grandchildren. Grandpa's Lullaby is what he named it. Painting had been a hobby of his ever since the Naval Academy period. In 1928, the Renaissance Society of Chicago sponsored a one-man exhibit of his watercolors. During the last 10 years of his life, he divided his time between scientific investigations and painting trips to the beaches, arroyos, and mountains. This was Albert Abraham Michelson, scientist, artist, musician, teacher. America's first Nobel Prize winner in science. The man who pursued physics because, as he put it, it's such good fun.
How much time are you going to give me?